Hello, and welcome to Traditional Stitches FlossTube video number 31. I'm Janice Spencer, the owner of Traditional Stitches, and as usual with me today is Rose Heck, the leader of our Hands Across the Sea Samplers Stitch Along. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Janice.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm staying warm.
Yeah.
I have to laugh when you said our 31, the 31st floss tube. I thought, is that the number of this or the temperature in Celsius that we're dealing with? And I think it's both.
Yeah, we're in a little bit of a cold snap, and we woke up Tuesday morning to about 12 inches of snow. But like Alberta typical weather, it can be minus 30 degrees out, but the sun still shines. So we're lucky for that. We can take that. Yeah. So we've got lots of fun stuff to talk about today. We're going to start talking about Lucy Barber. Then I'm going to do in-stock hand-dyed linen parade. We're going to talk about some Nashville exclusives from 2022 that we still have available. And then you and I are going to have our annual discussion about releases for the upcoming Nashville Needlework market.
Right.
So, all right, let's get started. So Lucy Barber, do you have, can you show?
I do. Do you want to see what I'm progressed on, or do you want to see where we're at so far?
Both.
Both. Okay. So there is our chart. We have completed month 1, so a good portion of the border. We will go into month 2 as of March 14th, and it's just about a mirror image.
Right.
Okay.
So for those of you who are following our FlossTube videos for the Lucy Barber Sampler, you may have to excuse us that we don't, I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking just with all of the Nashville work that's going to be needed in the first half of March, we might not get a video done, but just know that it is a mirror image of the first month, so there's not going to be any surprises there.
Correct. And just to reiterate, there is the Minnie McBean little frippery. It's right from my garden doors. I apologize. And all of the lovely goodness of the SWA 103. And I'm stitching her on 46 count wood smoke from Tabby Cat linen. So, and without further ado, and I think this is not going to be as much as what you have, but I'm being good. There is my progress so far. So of course, I just finished up the 2 birds, the crow or blackbird in between and the other bird. I'm not one to leave things halfway. So that's my progress on Lucy. She is tucked away.
Great.
It does look great. It was fun. It was hard to stop.
Awesome. So as you alluded to, I have been racing ahead on mine. Partially because I'm trying to get the shop model finished so that I can get it to the framer and hanging on the wall in the shop, but also because I'm just really enjoying the stitch. And as Nicola said, she's a very happy sampler. So I'll show you where I'm at. Yeah, so I've just passed the halfway mark.
Yes.
Play with the light here a little bit. I had ended up having to unpick and restitch most of the verse, but that's back in, so
good. Good.
I'm really enjoying it. One thing that I should point out is in the chart, for some reason, this little motif dropped off the chart. And you'll totally recognize it when you get to that part of the sampler. And there's another one right here that you can just use as your model. It's exactly the same, but for some reason, it just disappeared.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to make a mark of that, make a note of it, and double check that on my own.
So I talked to Nicola about it, and you know, the worst thing is when you're doing things publicly is being proven that you're human and making a mistake, and that's just really hard to do, but it happens, and
exactly.
we are human.
I know we tend to hold designers, especially Nicola, to a higher level, thinking that they will not make mistakes, but
Yeah.
mistakes do happen.
So there's another advantage to me stitching ahead is to see those kinds of things. So I also wanted to remind everybody that Lucy's order is not equal all the way around. Don't let yourself fall into the comfort zone of the pattern and assume that it's correct, because it changes. So I'm stitching my border down as I do the central motifs so that I have something to count each bit off of as I go.
Right.
And then the other thing is that when you are working on little motifs such as these baskets here, sometimes the charting is not symmetrical. Sometimes a leaf might be one extra stitch or one extra row of stitches taller or shorter. And so I encourage everybody to choose what works for them. If you're a symmetry person and you like them that way, then just add an extra stitch or extra row of stitches, but just make your own judgment call as you go along.
Okay. No, yours looks great.
I'm loving it. I'm stitching the same combination you are with the 100/3 on the 46 count wood smoke from Tabby Cat. And I'm finding as I move through my stitching life that I'm way more of a one project gal than I ever used to be. So it's really fulfilling to see it come together at a good rate.
Monogamous stitcher, are we becoming?
Yeah, a little bit. Nashville might throw a wrench into those plans,
Maybe.
but
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. All right, so we do still have lots of Lucy Barber kits available, and if anybody wants to join us, it's going to be super easy to catch up at this point, so we encourage you to do that. And we're seeing lots of great progress in the Facebook group, so that's exciting.
Good.
And then we'll see what we do with the video for part 2, if we can squeeze that in with all the chaos that ensues coming home from Nashville. So
right, yeah.
Alrighty, so we've been ordering like crazy threads, linen, etc. for Nashville. So I just wanted to show off a few pieces of fabric that we have in stock right now, that we have at least a full yard of fabric available. I put them in a special section on the website, and the link for that is in the description box below. And so you can go and have a browse, but I thought I'd show them off to you in person. I'm not really loving my light here today, so we'll just see how we can actually do. So we were talking about Tabby Cat linen a little bit with Lucy Barber, and I have got a piece of the 40 count creme brulee linen that Nicola uses for a lot of the samplers, and there's been some interesting discussion about this fabric. This happens to be a really nice stylot, I think. The splooches aren't too dark, and there's lots of space, so it's really good, I think, worth showing off.
Right.
So that's 40 count creme brulee from Tabby Cat. All right. Oh, and we got a fox and rabbit shipment this week. So that was exciting. Those we've had this on order since June of last year. But of course, Fox and Rabbit's been having challenges getting base fabric to dye. So once they did get some base fabric, our order was one of the first ones that they had out the door. So I've got a couple of a color here. This one is one of my favorites. It's called Hog Bristle.
Yes.
And this is the 40 count version. And it's showing a little bit more golden maybe in the camera than it is. It's a little bit browner, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, beautiful fabric, and it just feels so good. This is 36 count chocolate milk by Fabrics from Stephanie.
Oh.
And this currently is being used in the Cottage Garden Sampling Series, the Snowman Collector.
Yeah.
So the people that are stitching just ones, or if they're stitching them all on the same piece of fabric, this is the called for. And so we're lucky enough to have some of that in stock. We have been subbing the vintage country mocha for it when we don't have Stephanie fabric, but
Okay,
yeah.
nice.
And then yesterday we got a shipment of Weeks Dye Works linens. So this beautiful color is 35 count mocha.
Mm-hmm.
And just see all the subtle modeling in there.
Shows up really well.
Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful, nice deep piece of fabric, so that if you were stitching one of those samplers that had like a ghost alphabet or some lighter, brighter motifs, they would show up just beautifully on this
For
fabric.
sure.
That's 35 mocha. And this is 40 count beige from Weeks Dye Works. And this is on the standard base. Sometimes they call it the old version of the Weeks Dye Works. So lots of people really love using this standard version, and it's a little bit less of a price point than the Zweigart base. So always an option if people are interested in that.
Okay.
And then I have some color and cotton fabric here too that you haven't seen on our website before, but it is on there now. So this is 36 count white tee. So like think lakeside attic lace kind of color. And all of the color and cotton fabric is on the Zweigart base. So with the orange zigzag, so it just feels so good. So that's 36 white tee. And this is 36 Tinsmith. So it's a little bit gray.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And 36 winter wheat. And this is kind of tanny brown, like lamb's wool almost.
Oh, yeah.
Really
When
showing
you
up.
tilted it towards your face, it really showed the
Yeah.
color. That's nice.
So these are the three color and cotton fabrics, just to give you a little bit of a range in the order that I've shown them. So really good samplery fabrics. 36 count, all of those. And then this is 40 count Harvest Moon. So it's a really nice golden, you see the model in there? It just is a beautiful fabric.
That is nice.
And then this is 40 count Willow. So it is dusty green kind of color.
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys will show.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So both 40 count, and this one is Willow.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So Nashville is going to be really interesting for hand-dyed linen. We've ordered a bunch of the called for fabric ahead from various fabric suppliers, but there's such a range of hand-dyed fabric suppliers right now that we just can't carry it all. We can't order it all. And of course, in lots of cases, we can't get it all in a timely manner. So in lots of cases, when we've listed things on the website that either we know are going to be a long time, or that's a designer brand that we don't carry, we're just going to choose our best in-stock substitution.
Good. Yeah.
To get those orders rolling, because we don't want to be sitting on them for 8 or 10 months, and customers don't want to be waiting for them for that long. So
yeah,
that's the decision we make. So the link to those fabrics is below, and go ahead and take a look at those and see if there's anything you want to stock up on there. Alrighty, so then the next thing I wanted to talk about was when you start talking about the upcoming Nashville, I start thinking about revisiting last year's Nashville. So we have a few things left in the shop that we brought home from Nashville last year that I just want to share with you to show how special they are. So ready?
You bet.
Okay. So the first one, these were all limited edition things that I'm showing off that won't be necessarily able to get again. So the first one is the Little Sparrow Sewing Box from Stacy Nash. And I think we've got 3 or 4 of these left. So the kit comes with this paper mache box. already with the sampler alphabet theme on it. And the label on the bottom says that it was a collaboration of 3 generations of Stacy Nash Designs and Family.
Oh,
So
nice.
one family member did the box and Stacy did the chart. And I'm going to show it to you here, but I'm also going to insert an image because I think the image is better than the cover shot. So the lining of the box is the little sparrow design in the bottom. And then the other generation was, I think it's her daughter makes her waxers.
Yes.
And so there's 2 waxers included in the kit as well. So paper mache box design and the waxers is where the 3 generations thing comes from. And yeah, they were super popular last year, but I don't know how we still have some left.
Yeah.
Then I thought I was so organized. Okay, this one, the purple thread hawthorn scissor sheath, looks like this. So it doesn't come with the scissors, but it is a little wooden scissor sheath, and it is a replica of one that is in the collection of the Winterthur Museum, circa 1830.
Oh,
So this was a
wow.
pretty special item to have. And so it is just wood, so lightweight wood, and you could certainly on the back mount a magnet to keep your scissors in there. You could hang it on a string, all kinds of things, but these were very limited and we just have 2 or 3 available, I think, left, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
The next thing that we have is these glass fused needle minders from Beauvais Art. So they're just beautiful. So Beauvais Art will be at Nashville again this year, and I'm really interested to see what they bring, but like, look at the dimension on that needle minder.
It's pretty.
They're just so pretty. And then a super strong magnet on the back and big. So you, yeah, so we still have a few of those left. Anyways, I thought they were pretty special. Then Praiseworthy Stitches does such a great job of putting together little kits for Nashville, and we're really looking forward to the ones that they have for this coming year, but I'm surprised to see that we still have a couple of these in stock, and this is the Wee Quaker Berry Kit. And then they just pack all of the everythings that you need for the kit into these little packages. So the felt for the berry top, linen for stitching, and inside here is the threads and the findings and everything that you need.
I gotta take something away. Oops. There. Toy gone.
Oh, she was going to get squeaky, was she?
It was just starting, yes.
Okay. And then inside the kit is all of the finishing instructions that you need. So they just do such a great job of putting those together. So Wee Quaker Berry Kit. And then the final thing that I want to show you from last year that we still have some in stock of that was probably the top seller from 2022. Oh, it's not the last. Brain. Were these red clay pots from Heart and Hand. So the design that was meant to go in the top is this red brown sampler. And they also had these ruffled thread drops that went as part of the set. Okay. So they're just beautiful and petite. And so the chart makes the top for the lid for the bowl, and then the thread drop that goes along with it. So, and then the final thing that I thought about this morning, but I wasn't organized enough to grab a chart before I left the shop, that was limited edition from last year that really stood out to me was, and I'll insert a photo here, was Queenstown Sampler's design called Ruth. And it was the pictorial one with the girl sitting with the spaniel dog, and that was a limited edition chart, and so we just have 2 of those left, and definitely something you want to add to your collection.
I remember that one because you had said a year ago that was your top pick. you love that one, or one of the top picks.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a
They're
good
really
reminder.
special.
Yes.
Sure. All right, so let's talk about Nashville 2023.
Yes, let's.
All right, so this time next week, we will be on an airplane. Me and my best friend Lisa is coming with me this year, so look out, Nashville. And she's a stitcher too, so she gets the concept, and she knows she's going to have to work really hard to earn her steak dinner. But we're going to have lots of fun. So looking forward to that. So as of this morning, we had more than 360 items added to our Nashville section of the website. We can't list everything that every designer offers. So if there are things out there that you've seen that we haven't listed yet, then definitely just drop us an email and I'll be happy to try to pick them up for you. So the process for Nashville pre-orders is that you place your order online, and I'm really hoping that people will continue to do that through our website, because the website allows me to export reports that I can then use to double check my shopping lists. So many people this year are adding supplies. So that's one thing that we try really hard to do, is add the thread lists and the fabric requirements to our website, so that people can order that stuff ahead. So we're working really hard to kit the threads, get the fabric and everything right now, and then holding on to those orders until the charts come back with me from Nashville.
For sure.
Yeah. So we leave on Thursday, and then I'll be back on the shop on Tuesday to unpack the suitcases and the boxes and start giving everything out, and we'll just start shipping just as soon as we can. From the point of view of advanced orders, we don't really have a deadline. I keep in touch with the shop the whole time that I'm away, so that if a new order comes in or somebody asks for something else, I do my best to go and see if I can pick it up, add it to our order, or chase it down. So we don't really have a deadline, but sooner is always better than later. Nashville is definitely a ton of physical work, on our feet, schlepping. And I don't even want to start thinking about customs yet. I don't have to do that till Monday night on my way home, so I'll talk about that then. Certainly one of the highlights of going to Nashville for me is getting to spend in-person time with our designers and my shop owner friends. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun. And it's just so re-energizing and inspiring. So I can't wait to get there.
Good.
Yeah. So, Rose, let's go through your top list. I think we said 5 because otherwise we would be here all day.
Yes. I had to star the ones. I had to look at it differently. After I wrote my list, I took screenshots, and then I had to relook at it from a different angle. Like, if I really want it now, which one would it be? What is something different in it? So that's kind of my perception.
Okay.
So the top one that I absolutely love is from a new designer, and it is by Running with Needles and Scissors, Beloved.
Yes.
That bird just stands out. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. She hit it out of the park.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch her FlossTube video?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that has definitely been one of our most popular designs for this Nashville market. So I am looking forward to picking that up and meeting her in person too.
Yes. Yeah. I've been watching her FlossTubes for quite a long time. And then she kind of disappeared and then came back living in the States with long hair. And I went, oh, wow, she's changed. So yeah. She's definitely got some good designs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that stitch buttons one on the display rack. I think that's really interesting and different. Okay, what's next?
So we're not going to do this back and forth. You're going to hear all of mine.
Yeah, we'll do all of yours. My ideas are more concepts that I want to share with people than specific designs. So,
okay. Well, my next one, this is probably one of my most favorite designers. She is known for thread packs and specialty stitches and original designs. And she is local to you and I, and that is Jeanette Douglas. And she has some samplers, and she's never reproduced samplers. And I'm pretty excited about that. So the one that I zeroed in on is Anne Perrin, 1841.
Okay, cross it off my list. Yeah, that is a beautiful sampler. It was on my list too. So Jeanette Douglas was definitely one of the highlights that I wanted to talk about. So I think our lists are going to intermesh here anyways.
Yeah.
And Jeanette lives close to us, so Traditional Stitches is her LNS. So we had a lot of fun working at the workbench, pulling silk threads, and for these antique samplers, they made a few visits to our shop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was fun. And some of them are adaptations. So the big sampler, she chose her favorite motifs and kind of condensed them a little bit into an achievable size. And yeah, she did a great job.
I think so too. So
yeah.
My hats are off to her.
Yeah, but the Anne Perrin one is just such a pretty sampler. That's on my list.
I had a tough time. I had a tough time deciding which one of hers because I really liked them all. So there again, I had to look at, you know, different elements, and yeah, that's the one I picked from her.
Cool.
Okay, the next one, and she is incredibly different. And I bet, yeah, I think it's this one. It's from Queenstown Sampler Designs, and I'm just typing her in because I want to make sure I have the right one. Yes, this is Harriet Cooper, 1843, and she is so different. I hummed and hawed and hummed and hawed, and it's very contemporary but very, very different. And I don't know, it's really unique.
Okay,
so
I'm going to insert a photo here of the Harriet Cooper sampler just so that people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So it's nothing I've ever seen before, but I think it deserved a mention.
Is the picture up on the screen of your phone? Just flash it to us.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, very different.
It is very different. And I hummed and hawed and went back and forth, and I thought, for somebody that's maybe looking for a sampler that is totally different, this would fit the bill.
Right. And is that the one that has what does the description say on our website about that?
It's from the collection of the Oblate Sisters of Providence, Baltimore, Maryland. The first African-American Roman Catholic sisterhood collection.
Yeah.
It's just totally different.
Yeah, very special and unique.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't like borders but likes a lot of solid stitching, this would be definitely, and it's yeah, very contemporary, almost Art Deco, but it's definitely before Art Deco, so or Art Nouveau.
Cool.
So okay, I go down my list here. I'm like, oh, maybe I should know, maybe I don't. Okay. Needlework Press, and I picked out Hannah Elliott. And she's got some really cool elements. She's a very long, more narrow sampler, and she's beautiful. She's very beautiful.
Yeah, she was definitely on my list too. I really like how she's got a border, but she's still got sections that are some pictorial elements and then some dividing bands, and that one was on my list too, which
Yeah.
to be expected, you and me.
Well, yeah, we do tend to have similar tastes. My pen is dying on me. There we go. I can't remember if there was a date on that one.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure. It doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll pop that up when I insert the image.
Sounds good. Okay, and then, oh yes, then I'm kind of going 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm definitely going off the beaten path of my samplers. And there was one, and I think if people know Dawn Cook Roningen, and I'm probably murdering her name, she's just put out a book about housewives, sewing roles, and I think it has brought a renewed interest of these smalls. And I wouldn't say this is a small, but I saw this one, I went, oh, this is nice. So it's by Stacey Nash, and it's Birds and Bees Sewing Roll. And you always tease me about how I'm running out of room on my wall. And this would fit the bill about something that is utilitarian, but beautiful. So that was my next pick.
Okay.
So even though everything that Stacey Nash put out this year is a ooh.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and do you want one more?
Sure.
Okay, this is another small, totally off my, beaten path, but there's a story. So it's Needle Made Designs, and it's her scissor purses.
Those are very cool.
They are very cool. I really do like them. And I do tend to collect antique purses. And this one there's two of them actually. I don't know which one I like better. So that is my last pick.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, both of those charts are in the same pattern for the purses. And the chart includes instructions on where to order the metal purse closure frames and chains. So I encourage people to go ahead and order the charts, and then they'll have that information that they need to put everything together.
Right. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but yeah, they're definitely available.
Linda Vinson, Needle Made Designs. I'll insert a photo here with some text on it. All right, so just to prove how similar we think, instead of specific designs, I really wanted to just hit kind of concepts highlights. So the first one was Jeanette Douglas, which we talked about. Then the next one I wanted to talk about is 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers.
Yes.
She, I think, had 11 new reproduction samplers that are going to be available at Nashville. They've lots of pre-orders. They've been very popular. I'm really looking forward to meeting Leanne, who is a fellow Canadian in Nashville, and just seeing all of this in person up close. So I just, all of her samplers are great, and she's really into the historical aspect of the samplers. So I really think that's awesome. And actually, Canadians are making a great showing at Nashville this year. So we've got Jeanette, we've got 1897 Schoolhouse, Tiny Modernist is Canadian, and they'll be there. Pansy Patch will be there. So that's great. I don't know if we've seen that many Canadian designers at Nashville before, and I'm sure there's a couple others that just aren't necessarily right on my radar, but so that'd be good. Then I had Needlework Press. and Vicky does such a great job of her reproduction samplers. The Hannah Elliott that you mentioned was on my list, but the other one that's really lovely this year is called Be a Friend. And that's been very popular in our advance orders. And it is kind of a companion piece to samplers that she's reproduced, or not, it's not a reproduction, it's a original. Over the last couple of years with the theme of Be Kind, you know, COVID stuff. So Be Exceedingly Diligent was one, and Be Kind, like I said. So this part of that family of thought.
Right.
The next one I wanted to highlight is there are a couple of designers coming from Italy this year. Not as many as usual, but a couple. The one that's really on my radar is Primitive Hair. Her stuff is always very popular for our shop. So I've placed a good sized advance order already to pick up there, but it's just so much easier for the designers from Italy if I pick them up at market as opposed to having them shipped later. So that if Primitive Hair is your thing, then your advanced order is very welcome at this point. And then the other one that I thought was particularly special this year is Kathy Haberman Hands-On Design. I don't know if you got a chance to watch her FlossTube that she put out this weekend.
Yes.
It's a little bit long, but I suggest that people go see it because she really talks in great detail about her Nashville releases. And that just having that personal information about the whole set of designs really cements them both for a shop owner, but I think also as a stitcher. So she's got this new series that's called Polar Plunge that is beautiful and has been very, very popular already, even though she only shared the shop info a couple days ago. And it's going to be a series of 6 charts. And 5 will be available from shops, and then the 6th one will be available only as a download from her website. And the proceeds of that is going to go to Special Olympics, which is a cause very close to their hearts. So I wanted to highlight that. The other thing that Kathy did was she published a Canadian design this year.
I know.
It's called O Canada, and it is in the Plaid All Year series, and it is beautiful and stitched on a charcoal background fabric, and we got to have that one.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. So all of those are posted on our website.
Yeah, her Polar Plunge, they're so stinking cute. And then she did mention the final one that you get the PDF and the money goes to Special Olympics, I believe there's a narwhal in it. And it's like, oh my goodness, that would be so awesome. So looking forward to seeing all of that.
Yes, it's an adorable series. She's going to have finishing videos and instructions on those. And there's 2 finishing items that she's making available to shops for her designs. One is kind of a shelf thing, and that's what the O Canada sits in. And then the Polar Plunge series goes on backing boards. And so we're going to try to pick those up in market if we can. And if not, we'll just have them shipped to the shop afterwards. So those will be available and make your finishing very easy.
The advantage to those shelves, and I can't recall the person that is making them, but they fold flat, all the pieces, and then you just simple assemble them together. Mm-hmm. So I think the concept is really unique.
Again, you can find all of these items are in the Nashville section of our website, and the link to that is in the description box below.
Good.
So there's just a couple other things that I wanted to hit from a top seller perspective. One thing that's blown me away this market is the number of orders for the Happiness is a homemade cookbook. That Needlework Retail publishes every year. And I've never really twigged on that before, what everybody wants to stitch, not cook, but this one, there's Alma has put in a Blackbird Designs pattern in it, and so I think that might be driving a lot of the interest, but we've got them lots on order, so definitely a cool thing this year.
Yes.
Another top seller I wanted to mention is Teresa Koget's Remember Me, and they're just a really beautiful sampler. So I'll insert a photo here of that. And then the other thing that was on my list was that Running with Needles Beloved, but you mentioned that right off the top too. So there we are on our similar lists again.
And there's many, many more that we don't have time to mention, but take time to look throughout the website, check on Instagram. They've got the extras. And if you see anything you absolutely can't live without, contact you guys and get that pre-order in. And
yep. Yeah, so I know what I'm going to do for the next month or so. We'll be filling Nashville orders, and we should certainly appreciate everybody's patience. We have systems in place that we just work our way through, but it's not like we can just wiggle our nose and all of those charts and threads jump into everybody's package. So it does take some time to work through it, and so we appreciate everybody's patience. And the other thing we appreciate is that if you place a order for Nashville stuff, that you honor it. Sometimes you get a few days into market preps and people start canceling orders, and that's not really cool. So just be patient and we'll get the stuff that you ordered to you, and maybe you've got something to stitch on in the meantime.
yeah, one or two items, hey?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
most.
Just like us.
Yes.
Yeah. So Rose, what have you got coming up in the next few weeks?
Well, we've got to make a trip to Lethbridge in the next week or so, and have a get together with my family, and lots of stitching and shoveling, and yeah, and you know, this time of year it's a pretty quiet time of year, so I don't have as many things as you have going with Nashville and that. So, and I have to do some cooking this weekend and get some things in the freezer. That's about it.
Hibernating sounds like the perfect thing to do when there's 12 inches of snow and it's so stinking cold. So,
oh my goodness,
plan.
yes. So.
Okay, well, this is one of my funnest videos of the year. I really enjoyed putting our heads together and comparing our notes. So
yeah, I know,
awesome. I know. Okay, well, thank you, Rose. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Janice. Okay. Bye-bye.